Hey guys, Lucas here. I've got an update on GeoPix. It's been a while since I've had any content out on YouTube. Also been a while since I've just put an update on my website. I have not given up on the project. It's just been going through some changes in the back end. I've been thinking about where I want to take it. And the biggest question I've been dealing with was whether or not I wanted to rebuild the software from scratch, which up until recently I was still playing with the idea, but I've decided to go for it. I've built several of the components that will be really important for this rewrite. Things I was trying, seeing if I could make it work in Touch Designer the way I wanted it to, and there's been good results. So locking in December of this year, 2017, as the release date. Maybe it'll be sooner, hopefully not later. If it's going to be later, it won't be later than the end of the year. That's my hard deadline. So look forward to it then. This is the first of many weekly updates on just what's going on in the software, what I'm working on. I've seen other games and companies do these weekly dev blog updates, which are great. I love them, and they inspire me to kind of keep up with that software, that game, and I want to do the same thing with mine. It's also a way for me to hold myself accountable to keep that ball moving. So yeah, this is the weekly update number 1 for GeoPix, and just wanted to show you a few of the things I'm working on in the back end in Touch Designer land, and of course just make a quick couple other announcements towards the end. Here on the website, let me switch over. If you've been here, if you checked out GeoPix 0.9, which is the current version out, you'll notice that if you go to the actual page, you can see the download page. If you go here, it'll give you some information that's been here a while. You'll notice here, excuse me, in yellow it says GeoPix is currently in open beta. This is true. If you go to the shop, I've had several people say, hey, there's nothing here, looks like it's broken. It's not broken, I just haven't uploaded anything. If you're looking to get your hands on a beta license key, just shoot me a message on Facebook or an email through the website. Either one will work. Right now I'm giving out keys manually. I don't want to give out activation codes online, but I'm happy to give you one for testing purposes, so just hit me up. And that will be full activation key for GeoPix 0.9. Basically, I'm trying to move in the direction of an open source solution. Company I'm working for now, ImagineX, has had some really great ideas, and I may be partnering with them in the future on a release for this, which is exciting. All kinds of things there that will open up new possibilities. But more on that later. For now, just know if you want to use this software as it is, hit me up through email or Facebook on the Enviral Designs Facebook page. Definitely like and follow us there, because that's where I'll be posting these updates. I'll also be posting on the website, but Facebook's the best bet. So, alright, let me dive into some of what I've been going on here. So you'll remember in 0.9, we had a viewport that was a little clunky, a little weird. Navigation was a little strange. I had some people asking me if we could change that. So I decided to rebuild the viewport from scratch with kind of a different model in mind. Right now you're looking at just a real quick test scene in that viewport component. You'll notice that we have a nice anti-alias grid, XYZ color-coded. This isn't as obvious, but the control scheme, which is the biggest update, is very much like 3D packages, 3D software packages that you might use today, like Maya, Softimage, 3ds Max, SketchUp. They all have different ones, but they all mostly use Control Alt and Shift and left, right, middle mouse button clicks to kind of navigate. So I've modeled this off of Maya because it's what I've kind of come to know over the years. So left Alt drag will toggle your viewport and spin around infinitely. Alt right click will let you actually move the camera around, and then Alt middle mouse click will let you zoom. Right now the zoom's locked to a pretty small, narrow range. That's going to be a thing you can configure. Hopefully I can make it dynamic, but either way, that's going to be exposed later. So yeah, this is feeling great. This has been working for a couple months now, actually. The tricky part was, where do I go from here? How do I model this software in the back end compared to last time? Because I want to open source this software, I want it to be easier to let people get into, and with 099, there's the ability to set privacy for specific components, but then open up others. So I'm playing with that in my mind, seeing what I want to do with that. I want to make as much of this available to the end user if they want to hack or get in there and modify stuff, but there might be some things I need or want to lock and kind of keep preserved as pro features. I don't know quite how that's going to work yet, but again, most, if not all, of GeoPix will be open source, and there'll be something more to that later. So over here I've got just 3 column layouts. There's actually a lot more here than you see in this little area, but basically you're going to be looking at your screen, right? On the left side of the viewport, we're probably going to have tools. On the right side, we're going to have like an attribute editor. Again, I'm modeling this off of Maya, kind of, because that's what I've known. It's a great layout, in my opinion. And then there's this outliner. Again, Maya, every 3D software, most software packages in general that have kind of complex collections of objects and whatnot, will have an outliner where you can see all of your objects in list form, hierarchy form. That's what this is. So we're going to have an outliner. You can parent things just by alt dragging, or just left dragging here, and then you can select parented groups. You can create nulls. Right now you can create groups. You can import geometry. That's one I already got imported, but it shows up here. Naming takes care of that. So this will allow you to bring in geometry of your own. And even draw your LEDs on that geometry. So it's going to be very geometry driven, as before it was not. Also, it's going to be much more object oriented, so you're going to have the geometry object, you're going to have group objects, you're going to have device objects, which a device was in GeoPix 0.9, your pixel controller. So that will be your device, whether it be a Pixlite 416, maybe it's going to be a Pixlite, a BeagleBone Black, or maybe it's going to be a Teensy or a serial output device. You're going to have the ability to add a device, and then you can parent that device to anything you want. You can then create signal chains, which signal chains will be parented to the device. So if you have 8 signal chains parented to a Pixlite 4, it's only going to use the first 4, but then you can, add or remove for devices that have more flexibility, such as the basic serial device, stuff like that. So lots of exciting things there. The viewport as well is going to have some cool options. You can switch from 2D and 3D view. Very fully featured viewport. Excited about that. Also on the back end, for those of you who are touch designer people, you'll be interested to know that the scene, which is all data that you change, will be contained within one container. There'll be a whole hierarchy, nodes inside nodes. Planning basically to have this be your save file. So when you save your scene, you're actually saving this container, and you're saving all the nodes inside and their respective parameters. And then when you load, you're doing the same thing. That's my thought process. I think it'll be elegant and simple, and it'll leverage what Touch Designer already does so well in terms of the parenting and nodes and containers and all that stuff. Also, another cool thing, you'll notice that the UI looks very similar with the blue and orange. However, there is a much more succinct styling system now. It's kind of mimicking CSS and HTML and stuff like that. So if you've ever done web design, editing the styles for the UI will be kind of like that. I'm going to try to make a front end for it closer to release, but either way, it's going to be changing values in a table. Very simple. So that's it. There's so many more other things I want to throw in there, but I'm not going to because I don't know how they're going to turn out yet. But those are the three main components that have developed over the last few months. I'm super excited to get this out to you guys. I'm going to be working hard on it. If you have any ideas, suggestions, questions, that's another reason I want to do these videos, is to get feedback from you or questions and maybe preemptively fix some bugs or add some features that people want. Yeah, so that's it. Let me know what you think and stay tuned for the next one. Thanks.